Demo, not for broadcast. Property of WABC New York.
If you're thinking about changing schools, why wait? At Manhattan University, love those guys. You don't have to start over. With transfer-friendly pathways, your credits count, and you keep moving forward. From day one, you're part of Jasper Nation, preparing for the real world. And with New York City just a train away, opportunity is everywhere. Ready to move forward without missing a step? Visit manhattan.edu/transfer and enroll today. Manhattan University. Don't start over, move forward.
Sunday morning. With us every Sunday is Steve Cates, also known as Dr. Sky. And I love looking up in the sky and imagining, is there really a spaceship out there? Is there really a Star Trek up there? Well, Steve Cates, what do you have to report today? And this week was the 40th anniversary of the Challenger disaster. And have we learned anything from that?
Well, John, good morning. Happy February to you and the listeners. Going back here in time, we also had two other space tragedies. To answer your question, I shall in a moment. January 27, 1967, three astronauts that probably would have been the first crew to land on the moon, Grissom, Chaffee, and White, sadly perished in a horrific fire when their Apollo Space Command capsule. Apparently a spark had ignited the oxygen. That was a tragedy. Then, of course, we marked the, sad passing of the astronauts and the crew of Challenger. They never should have launched, John. This is something that will continue to be debated. The Rogers Commission, which Neil Armstrong was part of, they dug deep into this. They knew the ice was on the launch pad and on the rocket. That's sad. And then also the Columbia tragedy that we had, where those astronauts came back because of a piece of material that struck the, left edge of the orbiter's wing. So to answer you, I hope we have learned about this. So the point is, let's not rush to judgment, and let's not rush launches, not only my opinion, but others. Safety is the number one thing, John.
I agree with you on safety, but I'm very, very disappointed in the whole space program. In the last 40 years, I don't think we've accomplished much, in my opinion.
John, I respect your opinion, and I can just add that hopefully this next mission is what hopefully NASA has learned a lot about. And stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, because in the next week or so, the earliest launch window for Artemis 2. This is a launch of 4 people that will head around the moon, something we haven't done since 1968 with Apollo 8. But what's interesting about this 10-day mission is a new and improved spacecraft. They've checked pretty much everything, John, on this, and we can hopefully say that it's bulletproof. But going on to your point there, so many people have criticism of NASA, but in not a total, to defend them. Look at the small amount of money that they get from the government. Their budget is pretty small compared to other government agencies. But 2 quick things, John, that they have to learn about from this particular mission, and hopefully they've cured the problem. They'll be entering the atmosphere once they return from the moon at the highest speed humans have ever come back, 25,000 miles per hour. And one of the issues they had with Artemis 1 was the heat shield behind those astronauts on this particular mission. Let's hope it all goes well. NASA needs a big shot in the arm. And then after that, John, Artemis 3 would be a landing on the moon. But like I said before, let's not rush it, because that is a technological challenge that we haven't done in a long time. And the private side with Elon and SpaceX is really kind of ahead of us, don't you think, in many other areas of technology.
Well, I just hope that I did not know. I heard about this Artemis last week or the last few weeks. I did not know we were preparing for that.
Listen to this podcast now on the Red Apple Podcast Network. The Leadership Thread with Dr. Peggy Polonis.
I'm Dr. Peggy Polonis. Join me on each episode where I unravel the story that shaped leaders, tracing the thread that led them where they are today. Because leadership isn't born in adulthood. And thank you once again for joining us on the Leadership Thread, education, ethics, and sustainability.
Download all of Red Apple Media's podcasts right now through your favorite podcast platform. This National Foster Care Month, Marine Toys for Tots is providing hope to children who need it most. Staff Sergeant James Caldwell, who grew up in foster care himself, shares that while handing out gifts at a Toys for Tots distribution event, a little girl looked up at him, reached into her bag, pulled out a stuffed animal and said, "Someone needs to make sure you get a toy too." That simple gesture embodies the heart of Marine Toys for Tots, ensuring every child, including those in foster care, experiences the kindness that can transform their future. Visit toysfortots.org today.
Yes, John, it's something that the news media has just jumped on the bandwagon. And again, it's a little late if you look at how these launches have been. They have these long gaps in between here, but I'm hoping on the side of safety and making sure that these missions work properly. It's a new and improved spacecraft. The Orion capsule, this one is known as Integrity. And if you and I were to go inside of it, unless we're claustrophobic, imagine that mission. They'll be sailing 4,000 miles above the surface of the moon, going around farther than astronauts have, and they're using the gravity of the moon to slingshot back to the Earth. That's an amazing.
And let me ask you a question. How far away on the schedule are we from landing on the moon?
John, the guess is from NASA, at least our space side, and SpaceX may have a different answer, but I'm saying probably 2028 or 2029. And the Chinese, with their advanced space program, John, they may be doing it sooner because they made a historic anniversary. We move on to 2029. But let's do it right. And I don't think we should have a space race anymore just to get there. We've done this. We've done it well. But I think, John, that's another story.
I just don't know how we went to the moon 55 years ago, and now we're struggling to go back.
John, that's a mystery that I can't even answer. It may have to do with a lot of politics. It may have to do with a lot of issues of funding and such. And maybe there was a different crew of engineers that had a little bit of different discipline in those days. Who knows for sure? But, John, on the positive side, just a couple of other interesting subjects for this morning. We all hear about the Voyager 1 spacecraft. Where is it? What is it? It's a spacecraft still going and moving out 15 billion miles away from the sun and Earth. But what about Voyager 2? John, it's still going out in the opposite direction, some 12.3 billion miles away. It's moving out past where the sun's so-called energy field, called the heliopause. So it's really out in deep space. If you want to talk about positives, those unmanned spacecraft, don't you think, are totally incredible. And we give a lot of credit to those people, the engineers that built those, still working since they were launched back in 1977. To me, that's totally incredible with old technology, John. How about that?
That's something. Anything else on your mind today? I mean, we talked about Voyager. We talked about the Challenger. We talked about circling the moon. And I think President Trump wants that moon landing while he's still president, in my opinion.
I would hope so. I would hope so, John. I'm all in favor of it. But quickly, a mystery of the week. How about this one? Stephen Hawking has told us before he passed away. He said that mankind needs to move off this particular planet. And for people that may not know this, the population, John, 100 years ago in 1926, worldwide has allegedly had been, or was, 2 billion souls. Now, if you take a look at it, look at this astronomical jump. Pretty accurate, John, as we speak right now. 8,272,000,000 souls now occupy the planet Earth. And this is very interesting because Stephen Hawking's vision was that we need to move out to the stars, not just in a Star Trek or sci-fi way. But that's incredible, John. So just this year, if we look at these statistics, 5,280,000 births have just happened just this month alone into the new year. So, John, without overdoing it, Earth is a very populated place, and we still haven't figured out how to all get along. And that's the biggest question of all.
But the reproductive rate is so way down that it's going to start going the other way right now.
Absolutely. You are correct in your statistics there. But like I said, with so many people on the planet, that is, without using the term overly using, astronomical jump, incredible stuff, John, that hopefully we can colonize the stars. But probably, like you and I would both agree, it's not going to happen anytime soon. So hopefully.
And not in our lifetime.
You're 100% right. And
thank you so much.
Yes, John. Thank you for your time. And always remember to check in with the Dr. Sky Experience here on Talk Radio 77 WABC. Saturdays and Sundays, midnight to 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I have you and the crew to thank for that. Have a great Sunday.
You too.
Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.